Good morning. Welcome. This is Machine Learning Lecture number 3, and I'm Professor G.C. Nandi. So, the other day we were actually telling you some story about the history of machine learning, artificial intelligence in fact. And there I told you that the first time Alan Turing, who actually use the concept of some intelligence, because you see, for deciphering of code, he observed many past codes and then tried to figure out some features which were similar to all the codes. And then he tried to eliminate those similar features, so that now for computation, deciphering, the computation will be much less now, because you are eliminating the similar codes which are not very important, which he guessed are not very important, and it turned out to be yes. Because afterwards those parts also were deciphered, and it turns out that they were telling something like good morning, what is the weather, this, that, which has no relevance with the actual plan of attack. And that's the great success story, of AI, first success story. Well, then machine learning is actually a special kind of artificial intelligence where we learn algorithm, tools, techniques which will work on data to figure out what information, useful information is there and how can we extract. So it is a data-driven system. Obviously, machine learning means we want machine to learn the knowledge which is hidden in the data, right? And as you know, what is data? Data means is an entity which captures the physical world. Okay. And why data? Because we somehow are conversant or create a framework for representing many useful physical things in the form of digit and meaningful digit. And afterwards, when digital machines were invented, which is computer, it turns out to be that the data is more useful for computer to process. And data, as you can see, is a typical example I am showing you some typical data. Okay, this is nothing but housing price data of some Canadian city, is real data. Okay, Canadian city. It is in Canadian dollars, the price of house, and then price of house depends on lot size, number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms. Okay, then number of story. It is a single story or multi-story. Then whether the house has a driveway or not, then whether there is a recreation room or not, whether there is a basement or not. So you can see some portion of the data actually are represented in numeric form. Okay, so they call numerical data, and some portion are actually yes, no, they are called categorical data. And both are very important because they are conveying useful information. You see, this is, we can call it price, and others we can call it features. This is jargon term, because price depends on features, many features. Whether a house will be costlier will depend on how big the floor area is. Then also how big, how many bedrooms are there, so numbers are there, you see. So this is a housing pricing data. What do we do with the data? If you have this kind of past data, then we try to put some algorithm, some analysis on the data. This is a past data, already known data. And our objective is our algorithm, our tools, our model, now let us call it model, machine learning model, should learn what is hidden in the data. We can learn it, right? That price, bigger price means you will get bigger lot size. Then maybe number of bedrooms, for now bigger number of bedrooms you will have to pay more, all kind of things, obvious thing. So these obvious things we want to learn through machine. And this is a category, just an example where data are there. There are some other examples I would like to show you. So this is another example of data which we can see that what they are representing. So this is a data set for 2 exam results, and third one actually are carrying the meaning whether, suppose there are 2 exam, okay, which is taken by an university or a institution, and they are taking decision whether to admit you or not. 0 means no admission, 1 means admission. So these are 2 subjects, maybe aptitude or whatever it is. So this is another kind of data. Now this past data which I have, and again if I try to develop some machine learning model, what model will do? Model will actually tell me, now I will get, say I am taking those 2 exams, and I am trying to figure out from my model that whether or not I will get admission there. Okay, so this kind of prediction can be done. So now we will see that based on data, I can create some kind of hypothesis, and I can use that hypothesis for which I do not have data. For I would like to predict. I have data, for example, some data I have, but I would like to predict. Say I have taken some exam, I have got some score. The predictor or hypothesis will tell me what is the possibility or probability that I have to get an entry to the particular institute. Other data I can show you, COVID data, for example. Some data of Brazil, there are China, data of there are so many data sets are there. UK, Spain, let us open India. Yeah, so let us try to open. Now this is again, COVID-19, everybody knows the world has been shut down almost, and we are teaching you through this mode because with some virus, right? And unpredictable virus, okay, creating a lot of damage. And you see, suppose, and this data is available every day, coronavirus update. If you give, then you see they are maintaining, an agency is maintaining data across the globe. Various countries are actually feeding that central agency, and they are capturing the data. Okay, so I can see from here the India. Okay. There are new cases, cumulative cases, new date, cumulative date. They are very important. Others are actually codification of the date. Country code is the India, and the date is very, very important. You see, date-wise, I have some data. It is February. From February onwards, now we can see the death, cumulative death were very, very little, almost 0, and now you see what is happening. Number of deaths cumulative deaths are increasing day by day. the death is actually increasing. Okay, number of infection is increasing. So if I have this kind of data, and I would like to know the behavior or the trend of the data, my machine learning can help me. So we learn how machine learning actually, a computer can learn. We can actually make it learn by creating model, okay, which will tell me from this past data what is going to happen in September or maybe October, maybe November, okay. Some premier institutions in India are actually analyzing this kind of data. And you see, many institutions are analyzing. Now, whom to believe? Those guys who are increasing many sophisticated machine learning tools and who are able to validate the prediction. Now, you see, I am using another term. Okay, data. Now you know already some of the terms. Data, feature. So these are the feature. Death. How many deaths are happening is a feature. Okay. Actually data, those are data, and feature is the trend or the country-wise trend, because Indian feature percentage of death, that is Indian feature is low compared to others, okay, but these are data, not features. So in housing price data you have seen data and feature actually influence some parameter, okay, which is housing price, okay, and that is a dependent variable, okay. So now I'm going to tell you that if you have a data, you somehow create a model and then say this is from March, right? So I decide that from March I will try to just plot along x-axis the day and y-axis the number of deaths. Okay, so 2nd March, 4th March, 6th month, and I have the data. And after creating model, I also can predict from my model what is going to happen in April, for example. Okay. And then in April also I have actual data. So I train a model and then try to predict from my model what could be the death in number of deaths in April, say, for example. And I already have actual figure of deaths in the month of April due to COVID-19. Okay. So now I can validate. Actual figure is a true figure, right? And what my model is telling is actually theoretical. It depends on how beautifully I have created the model. Now, if they match, then I can say my model is perfect. If they don't match, my model is bad. So, whenever you are trying to create a machine learning model, you have data, try to train your model, okay, or try to develop your, now we have not talked about training, so try to develop your model using some portion of the data, keep some other portion, this portion of the data which you are actually taking to predict is called training data, and keep some data for validation, okay, or the validation data or testing data, and then if you are satisfied, then with confidence you can tell my model is perfect. Now my model can predict not only April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So now I have the trend. If you can capture the trend, then you can actually predict what is going to happen in September, October. So that's the beauty, right? I have some data. Knowledge is trapped in the data. My machine learning algorithm, tools, techniques is trying to liberate that knowledge of my desire or my satisfaction, and then I am using the knowledge there, hidden there, to predict for the future. So more or less that is what we will do in all machine learning problem. That is, you have data, and that's why it is very important that data has to have meaning. Okay, data has to have knowledge within there. If the data is jargon, then if no knowledge is there, then no machine learning algorithm can extract any useful knowledge. Okay, so data has to have information. And there are, of course, Shannon's theory, that information can be actually measured with the help of entropy. Okay, we'll discuss all these things because it is very important that what you are doing, the model should be actually extracting more and more useful information. So that's why you need to test that what is happening to the information when you started and what is happening to the information of the data when you are finishing developing model. Okay, it should improve. So it's kind of metric. Some other metrics are there, Gini coefficient, all we will study later on. But I think in a simplified way, we have more data, of course. Yeah, we have some very useful diagnostic medical, you see, heart disease data. So, see, very important. Hello? The other one, you can go. Okay, yeah. The left, right one, right, process data. So, download kar sakta ho. So, this is actually heart disease data of real data of some hospital, US hospital situated in Cleveland. So, those are more, as you can just notepad में कर सकते हो भैया बड़ा करो. So we will talk about that. There are so many. This data is now seems to be meaningless, but they are carrying a lot of meaning. We will discuss when we will use it. Okay. So she could not open in actual. Yeah, there are features. Okay. So there are so many features in the heart. We are trying to predict whether a particular person, a patient, has a heart disease or not, seeing so many symptoms. ECG signals, lipid profile, this, that. It's again a giant killer. Heart disease is a giant killer in the modern civilization. Blank. So this kind of data is also there. And you see, by seeing some kind of examples, this data has some values, right? And beautifully they can be represented in the form of a table. Okay. So, but not all data could be like that. Okay. Now, for example, your face. I am trying to capture the image of your face using, say, some camera, some sensor, which is camera here. Okay. So then each pixel intensity value, the camera will actually capture the pixel intensity values. Okay. A digital camera will actually capture that, which represents a physical object called face. Or for example, I'm speaking, my voice data. Okay. So these data are called unstructured data, voice. You will see some kind of signal, right? And if my mic is capturing those signal and then you are digitizing it, so you will get some digit. Okay. But those are unstructured data. And machine learning can deal with both of the data, structured, unstructured data. So that's why we told in the beginning that machine learning needs data. Without data, what you will do with machine learning? Data, if you have data, the knowledge or information is hidden in the data, then only machine learning, which you will learn, can help you to extract that information or the knowledge. Okay. And while developing model, okay, so we can also learn what machine learning means using a formal definition given by Tom Mitchell in 1998 at Carnegie Mellon University. So, formally he told that a computer program is said to learn from experience E with respect to some task T and some performance measure P if its performance on task T as measured by performance measure P improves with E. So, this is formal definition. A lot of things are there. Experience E, some task T, performance measure P, E, that is the with experience with the improves, the performance must improve with experience E. If this is happening, then we'll tell that the machine is learning. Otherwise, machine is not learning. Okay. So this learning requires actually some kind of assistance, which also you will know. There are three types of machine learning process, which is known as supervised learning, unsupervised learning, taskful learning. These are the three. Actually, there is another learning which we will also study, reinforcement learning. So, supervised learning is actually the way under the supervision of a teacher, the way you are learning is called supervised learning. Okay. In machine learning terminology, if I have data with level, okay, and then if I try to develop a model, okay, using that label data. For example, this is cat, this is dog, this is bird. So this kind of data I have, this is unstructured data, but it has a level, okay. And then I'm trying to predict, okay, by inputting the image of a cat, whether the model is able to output yes or no. Yes means cat, no means other than cat. Again, this is called binary classification. Okay, so binary classification is very common. Okay, multi-class classifications also are there, but mostly in the beginning of the classes we will learn binary classification technique. That means cat other than everybody other than cat, or human face, anything other than human face. All kind of classification we can do. And here in the first data you have seen that some categorical data is there. That can you go back to the housing price data, where housing price actually has dependence on housing price data is depending on floor area. Go to the main folder. Okay, it depends. Yes, so it depends on floor area. It depends on number of bedrooms. These are okay. So these are numerical data. But suppose I have developed a model using all these features. Okay, whether driveway is there or not, your recreation room there or not. You see, these are yes no type, and these are only numerical values. Okay, lot size, this, that. Okay, so I need to create two types of model. One with numerical values only, and another with categorical values only. One, now I am telling is again jargon term. One is called means the value of house in price, say it is Y, how it depends on a particular feature X. So that is called in statistics that is called regression analysis. So regression analysis can be done to develop a hypothesis which can predict if I give a new data. For example, my requirement is I need this lot size of my house. this floor area of my house, which is none of these values here, may not be none of the values here. And if I give that, then I should be able to get a logical price for that. Or if I give that requirement is floor area, and then another feature I can incorporate bedroom, another feature bathroom, another features story. So multiple features are there. Still, I will be regression will be able to tell me if this is my requirement. Say I need 700 square feet. I need 2 bedroom. I need 1 story, and there should be a driveway. If the model is developed perfectly, I should be able to get corresponding price for that. But another model I can develop, which is called classification model. So regression model can actually capture the pattern of the data, which is the pattern is hidden, which we are trying to explore. Another kind of data is, as you see, the categorical data. Driveway, yes or no. Recreation room, yes or no. So it's a classification problem, right? Say, I am paying this much of price, floor area of this, okay, whether or not this will fetch me a driveway, yes or not. So one class is yes with driveway, another class is no driveway, okay. So these are called classification problem. For classification problem, I need to develop another model, different model, which is called logistic regression. So the other one is called the regression, linear regression. Okay, another one is called logistic regression. First, we'll study linear regression. Then, of course, other kind of regression we will study. But they are very, very useful. And now we have got some kind of sense that data, what data means, what machine learning means, and how machine learning can be useful for predicting something. So it's all about prediction. Let it be in the stock market, let it be in the number of deaths in the COVID patient, let it be housing price, everything is prediction. We would like to use past data, analyze, and then we will try to predict. So that's the basic objective of machine learning, which we'll discuss, continue our discussion. Thank you for your attention. Stay safe. Bye.